So last night was the first night of the Republican convention, and former Fox News host Kimberly Guilfoyle set the tone by screaming at an empty podium, an empty room, I should say, for about 6 minutes. And so, following that, the internet is going to decide, it's going to do what it does best. It's going to meme the shit out of her. So let's start out with some fun memes. Rita Repulsa, right? You're just going to go with that. After 10,000 years, I'm free. I love it. It's great. Uh, we also have this one, of course, comparison. I almost feel like they're kind of doing Rita a little dirty on this one. Maybe it could have been, something different, but we've got Wicked Witch. That's a pretty good one. Kimberly was high AF. She was practically defying gravity. Again, that's a little bit of a reference to the Coke. And this has nothing to do with Don Jr., who had his own hashtag that was going. We've got, I'd say that's pretty self-explanatory right here. Okay. I think you get the gist. And then I just like that one. That was pretty good. Scream. Nailed it. So look at those are some good memes. There's plenty of other fantastic ones as well. But what are people saying? What are people saying about this? One person says Kimberly Guilfoyle yelling like the North Korean propaganda lady. So that's real good response online. Another person asks, why is Kimberly Guilfoyle yelling? Isn't it an empty room? It is an empty room. Yes, I know, coronavirus, right? At least they didn't pack people. Could you imagine if they packed people into a room with COVID-19 going on? I mean, look, that's what they tried to do with the Donald Trump Tulsa rally. And it didn't go well because not a lot of people showed up. A lot less people showed up than should have. And of course, that made Donald Trump very upset. And Donald Trump, by the way, is supposed to speak every single night of the convention. Every single night. They are the party of Donald Trump. Going to that, one person says Kimberly Guilfoyle going full fascist. I've made that comparison as well. Another person asks, did Kimberly Guilfoyle just claim her Puerto Rican mother was an immigrant when Puerto Rico is part of America? And so, look, that's part of the speech that I didn't show you. She says, I'm an immigrant. And my mother was an immigrant from Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is part of the United States. Okay. That's, I mean, yes, it's a territory, but she's an American citizen. Puerto Rico is part of America. I know, right? But see, here's the thing, right? Those are facts. Facts are not allowed at the RNC. Remember, President Trump had no idea Puerto Ricans were American citizens. Remember when they got hit with Hurricane Maria? And he's like, oh, I got to send help to Puerto Rico. Here we go. America's helping out. No, that is America. That's a part of America. It's a territory. Yes, the people that live there are American citizens. They have representation in our government. And in fact, they should have more because I believe they should have full statehood. And so they get some representation, but they certainly don't get enough. They don't get what they should have. And so nonetheless, I'm going to go there. It's an island surrounded by water, big water. And I'm going to go there. I'm going to throw paper towels at them. And then if they ask for more, I'm going to call them ungrateful. And that's exactly what he did. And so, yeah, either he doesn't know that they're Americans or doesn't consider them to be Americans. And of course, we all know probably the reason why they're brown, primarily. And yet, Kimberly Guilfoyle, simping for white supremacy. It's really kind of amazing how that whole thing works, right? And what's interesting is that, again, if you listen to this speech, she went on and on about socialism bad. When look, her party's pushing fascism, and to her, I think uh, fascism is more acceptable to them than socialism. And understand, like, the Democratic Party is not socialist, right? They're more neoliberal than anything else. But again, Republicans must scream and fearmonger about socialism because it's really all they have. It's basically like that word has stopped having meaning to them. It's just a catch-all for somebody you don't like. And like, to give you an example of that, right? My wife's in a grocery store, okay, and she was hearing a boomer complain to a cashier about how wearing masks in the store was socialism. Wearing masks has nothing to do with a system of economics where workers own the means of production. It's got nothing to do with that. So, but understand, they don't understand what that word actually means. It has just been pounded into their head that socialism means anything that we don't agree with, anything that we don't like politically. And actually, what's funny is they don't know that one of the most popular programs in America, Medicare and Social Security, kind of socialist. Just saying. And so it is one of those catch-alls, and that's what they talk about all the time. And so this whole, I mean, the whole RNC, the whole Trump presidency is just meme worthy because of how cringe it really is, how bad it is, and how these people that are in positions of power are just the dumbest people on the planet.